So this is the first fight versus HOTPOT. So HOTPOT is a guild with I call them ex-Lerds. Alright guys, you guys will always be Lerds to me. Back when I used to run my own guild, TheLerds, most of these guys, not all of them, but most of them were in that guild. After we had our, what do you call it? How would I say it? If they're watching this video right now, how would I say this? Rift? I'm still buddies with some of them, and I think some of them are still okay with me. Like I think so, right? Right guys? You guys don't talk crap about me in your Discord, right? Right? Anyways, Fungi was always one of the strongest players in TheLerds. I think he was also the most whale in terms of like he has like I don't know Fungi, man. Like what do you have, like all triple S heroes now? I have no idea. He's a waifu collector, but I mean he was the best geared player. And again, running this team, you guys have seen this by now if you guys are watching my Guild War videos in chronology. This hasn't really failed in terms of FCC, Charles, and RB. I think the only way I can lose to this one if the RB was 250 speed and it was strong enough to one-shot my Angie before she got a turn. Actually, no, that's not true. That's not true. It has to be faster than my Angie, and if my ML kills the RB revives and then kills ML then it's over. But generally, I haven't seen that yet. But they might run that just in case we ever face each other again. I don't want to get debated. But this is relatively safe. I actually can't believe my ML did not die there. I was about to yield. Again, I went into this, I kind of roughly asked, hey, what's their speed tuning like? No one in Iggy remembers, so they're just like, oh yeah, that Charles was fast. And then he turns out he was like on a counter set, like base speed. So ML Angie speed buff like really screws him up. This one was really cool. I got to use my Vivian for the first time in Guild War offense, and this is really yeah, very nice. I mean, by Violet, yeah, everyone is on immunity. The crowd was actually on a holy sacrifice just in case that Sid did kill me. There was no need to put an Aureus on, and Vivian gives greater attack buff to herself, very strong. And then of course Violet to counter a lot, right? It counters Dizzy, but it can counter the others if somehow Crow had died even after Holy Sacrifice and died again. This one I was just going for his Maid Chloe. Now amazing thing about Fungi, again like I said, his gear is really good. Fungi's Maid Chloe was clocked by the other Iggy guys that she was 260 speed. With a Sid imprint and then Dizzy. His Dizzy is really good effectiveness as well. That's why the Vivian came in handy. You just have immunity on and you're protected. But his speed gear is like insane. So it was a very scary one. I think one of my guildmates did find out the hard way, and like got outsped and whatnot. Just like overwhelmed from the speed. But yeah, Vivian very solid for this one. I was hoping the Sid would kill me because I wanted the content. I wanted the revive, but I didn't get it. Feels bad. But anyways, that one's Fungi, the stronghold of HOTPOT. So this is the second fight versus Ultimo. Ultimo wasn't an ex-Lerd. I believe he was recruited after. So I'm not quite sure, but people have told me that he's actually like legend RTA. I did believe he. Yeah, I lost to his round 2. This one it wasn't too. Oh no, I lost to this one. I remember now. I was kind of like a bit cocky on this one. I should have used the S3 in retrospect. S3 on the Lilius, I would have generated souls. You guys will see what happens. This isn't a great fight here. This kills my this kills my Lilius, and then it didn't crit ML Ken. So that was really crappy. Not critting ML Ken is very, very bad. And then he crits him here, but then I am stuck with, like, you know, who do I kill? Now, Basar generally is tankier than RB. So I really thought that, you know, I should have just killed the Basar first, and I would just one-shot the RB. I was afraid the S1 wouldn't do enough, especially I didn't have a soul burn. But I was wrong, so miscalculated. He just survives with, like, I don't know what, 113 HP as you see there. That was pretty salty, but lost fair and square, so not much I can say about that. Second fight is kind of a bread and butter team that I kind of bring to. You guys have seen this. I mean, look, I know that on YouTube comments a lot of people are just like, hey, can you try out new comps, right? Look, I'm not YDCB, alright? I'm not as funny. I'm more tactical. I try new things sometimes, but only if the opportunity allows. I mean, if people run cookie cutter defense, are you gonna expect me not running something that would be successful? Regardless, I find the comment pretty funny, but still, I get it. People are just like, you're a content creator, but I'm a player first, right? Right? I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of copy pastas on this video. Anyways, yeah, this team, you know what? I bring these three into this defense quite a bit. Now, over my experience, I think, you know, I have lost quite a bit. Based on, if they're like really, really fast, my ML Ravi is actually not built well enough to go against a fast composition like this. So we're talking like 230 speed MLCC, you know, 220, 230 K-Ron that hits hard, and like 200 plus speed Charles as well. It doesn't last because my ML Robbie needs her turns, and she's on a counter set about like 150 speed, and it's harder to sustain with a DN, right? Like the idea is like you kill off all the DPS ASAP, and then DN starts being able to sustain. The Ra's defense break is supposed to help, but it's 60%, and sometimes it just never lands. It's kind of annoying. I thought I would have killed that Charles there, that's why I didn't bother with the S3. Otherwise, sometimes I use Ravi's S3 if it guarantees a kill. But since the end was there, it was okay. Probably the non-risky part here would be the what do you call it? The revive on Robbie. That's probably the least riskiest part. But again, I have lost to this comp with when they're faster. Here it was okay. I could kill off that MLCC, revive Roz, and Roz can self-heal. He has a skill null as well, which is perfect because he's also the lowest health that is available for K-Ron's AI to attack. So the skill null helps, keeps him alive. And Liha's knife on K-Ron, man, very, very scary stuff. Very scary stuff. I've lost to many K-Rons like that. Anyways, that's Ultimo, so Drew, Int. But it did take it down. Anyways, that's it for this fight. This one was against Dark Artie. Again, he was former Lerds, ex-Lerd. And I chose him not for any reason. He was a tower, but by the time I hit HOTPOT, the stronghold was available. Ultimo, which was a fort, was available, and no one else was. So I just randomly chose him.
I hope you're ready.
The ML Sangelica again, really good against ML Chloe teams, and the sustain on Ravi self-heal and Roz can self-heal. There's very little risk. The attack buff was on the Ravi on that turn, so I knew that she would have killed that SSB. It was on it was a fast K-Ron, and I would say that I got lucky that he didn't proc Alexis basket. If he did, I think my ML Angie would have been dead. I'm not quite sure. Probably. I'll give that to Dark Artie. He probably would have killed her. So I probably did get good RNG. Let me see how much damage he does here. I haven't always have a defense buff up. So yeah, maybe he would have killed me on that turn 1. So on the initial load in, he already got the turn. He S3'd my Angie. But not quite sure. My Angie is relatively tanky. I also wanted to actually revive the Singelica. Since my Singelica actually didn't have the immortality up, I opted to go for the S1 first on Roz to strip the revive buff. But I couldn't. It was the last fight anyway. For this one, I wanted to actually try out something a bit newer. My MLCC at this point is I think is it my DPS MLCC yet? I'm not quite sure actually. Against these post-match commentaries, I usually add. Oh no, it's not. Ah, it's too bad. Could have featured it. My new DPS ML Cecilia. This was just a tank, not a super good tank either. So my bruiser one actually a lot better. This one here, you know, bringing Spectani, very low risk. I didn't crit him on that one. It's 97% crit rate. Gotta work on that 3 extra. If it crit him, I think he would have been dead based on the HP that was left there. But it didn't really matter. The Charles was kind of slow.
I will guide you through the light.
I think it was on a counter set. I just think he didn't get a counter though. Elbrist counter probably.
Know your place.
Yeah, so as long as the Charles didn't get a cleave, that's why the ML Cecilia as well. Skill null, we got the initial barrier, which I didn't know Dark Artie's speed tuning. I got the initial barrier, and then I had the anti-crit buff. So she was pretty safe from being cleaved by Charles and Lilius, Spectani that is. And I didn't know he had a Crimson Seed, but it was a Crimson Seed, so it was easier to keep landing debuffs on her if I can turn cycle. This was the first war I think HOTPOT fought us. They've been wanting to fight me for a really long time, so I think it was a special war for them as well.
I'm bored.
And I didn't realize that I had my S3 available. That's why I soul burn there. I shouldn't have. I would have actually just opted the S3 and the soul burn after, but that one shot the Lilius. Anyways, pretty meaningful guild war. Old friends unite. So anyways, that's it for this one. I'll end it for the video recording. If you guys have Discord, check out the Discord server. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to YouTube if you haven't. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.